Welcome to Vibes of India. I am Janvi and we are here to celebrate the season of love. Well, love means different things to different people. For some people it can be red roses. For others it can be going out on a dinner date. Today we are sitting with Priyanshi Patel, the founder of Olixir and Karma Foundation, to discuss about her idea of love and what is her first love. Priyanshi, welcome to Vibes of India. Please tell us about your idea of love.
So love for me is finding yourself through the other person. So it can be a hobby, it can be a person, it can be a place, or it can also be you falling in love with your own self. So for me it is a way to find yourself.
Interesting. And what has been or who has been your first love?
So I think reading and books have been my first love. In all of these years, ever since I can remember, there's been a special infatuation with the world of words.
Yeah.
So anything that has words in it, anything that has a story in it, I'm instantly attracted to it.
Okay.
So
And when did you fall in love with it? In the sense, was there someone in the family or was there a friend who inspired you to take up reading?
I think it was passed on to me in my DNA because my mom's been reading a lot.
Okay.
Somehow we've never seen her read because she's always been busy with the work of the home, etc. But I think ever since
You were
I think I inherited that entire
from your
bit
mother.
from my mother. Yeah.
Do you have memories of those times, like any book which you were fond of as a child?
So Chicken Soup for the Soul was something that, I think as a child I picked up, and the entire series inspired me to write as well in order to, explore my imagination and start putting stories like that. So, Chicken Soup for the Soul series, I can say. Yeah.
Interesting. And how over the years has reading influenced you as a person?
Completely. I feel like whatever I am today has been thanks to the variety of things I've read, how they've opened my experience up. And also there was a point wherein I realized that, I'm just doing half-baked love in terms of only reading it cover to cover, thinking that, wow, good story, and then moving on quickly to the other. Then I realized that to truly fall in love, I also had to understand myself through it.
Okay.
How do I understand the author better? How do I understand the society at that point? Or, whatever they were trying to tell, how do I feel about it? What are my views? What do I think about it?
Okay.
So as I said, love is something that helps you show your own self through that.
Yeah.
So, engaging with myself with that book or in a longer duration with, a more involved way was something that, really made me fall even deeper into, the world of reading.
So, books are your first love, but are there any specific books that you would like to mention for our viewers, something that they should read or something that you have really fallen in love with?
So the Bhagavad Gita, of course, I've been reading it ever since I was a child. So the Gita is something that I go back to again and again in order to again understand myself more, understand, the philosophies more, and to also understand who we are as, like people, like my ancestors, my family. What do we stand for, what has been the culture and how I resonate or I not resonate with the teachings and philosophies of it. So in my own discovery of myself and knowing my true purpose, the Gita has been instrumental.
Interesting. Any other author or any other book that might also?
So many. I would not do justice if I just put out one or two.
Okay.
But if I have to, point out, I think The Prophet is a book that has, stayed with me. Yeah. In childhood, there was this book by Neil Donald Walsh, Conversations with God.
Okay.
So that was something that had a lasting impression on me. Also, the Zahir by Paulo Coelho, as that had opened up a different perspective about the homeless.
Yeah.
So things that I had not imagined or, thought about. So there are many authors in many different ways they've touched me. So
interesting. Yeah.
And it changes over the period of time.
Yeah. And how do you, share your love for books with others? In the sense, one is definitely through Karma Foundation, but in your personal life, how does that happen?
I feel my love that I've shared with Ahmedabad overall, that is a story with the Ahmedabad Book Club and Gujarati Book Club that everybody knows about. In my daily life, for my daughter, I think when she sees me every day sit down and read, I feel like I am being an example in terms of how to do that.
Very important lesson in parenting.
Yes. Rather than telling them to read, you know, like do it. So now she also comes right next to me, and she, for her 15-20 minutes, rather than me reading out to her, she does it on her own to try and make out. So I feel I've been able to at least share my joy with my family in that way. And other than that, I meet a lot of young authors, young poets, poetesses. And I try and inspire them to do more, you know, push themselves more. So I think except of the foundation also, you know, like I want to see more people write, express themselves and, you know, through this medium become empowered.
Interesting. Has reading also inspired you to write?
Yes. So I've been writing ever since I was young, but now I'm becoming a little more courageous to try and put up a few things here.
Out there.
So you might see some of the works.
Some of the works coming out. Interesting. And I also learned that you are also organizing a readathon. If you can share something more about that.
So again, that is the love that I have for reading and you know, connecting people who share the same passion. So just like there's this Earth Hour, we want to come up with this concept wherein global readers all around the world, they come together on a particular day at a particular hour and read together from, you know, as shorter duration as 15 minutes to for hours, like the one who has read the longest, you know, would be breaking the record of readathon for that particular time. So that's a small wish. And you know, just because of the certificate or anything, if it inspires new reader to pick up a book and to read, it would be great service.
It would be a great service. Very interesting, and we're looking forward to even participate in the same. And Priyanshi, tell us that I mean, many a times when you are with your loved one, they also help you overcome the difficult situations of your life. So has it ever happened that you were in the middle of something, or you were suffering from something, and then there was this book which came like an answer to whatever the question was?
Always. As I said, like books are my love in just this regard, because just like a loved one comes to comfort, to soothe, or to give the message, somehow books have done that for me. And I have instances which are creepy, like goosebumps in terms of how did this happen. So I have a habit of picking up books that rather than knowing about them, there's a vibe. Like I just pick up books at a gift store, or I just order online, and they're lying there. And I've always noticed that the book comes to me at a time wherein I need to read it the most.
Very interesting.
And it has like I wonder in terms of how is this happening, like, you know, at this point wherein I really exactly needed to hear or know this, how is it that it's coming right at this moment? So Oman or Mrs. Siddharth, it had been in my bag for months together. So like I always carry a book to read. And I did not somehow find the time to read it. And how it strangely happened was I was on the banks of Ganga, sitting right there because of some situation I couldn't draft. And I could read and I could finish it right there on those banks. Now you know what I'm talking about.
How must be a very memorable incident of your life. Interesting. And what have you been reading for all this time? Like what kind of books do you like?
Everything. So from Mills and Boons to, I think, religion, to Gita, to Quran. I've read everything. And somehow I like to read different things and keep reading different genres, just so that I can expand and not stay limited to a certain liking. But thanks to lockdown, I had the opportunity to really segregate all my books genre-wise and to see in terms of, you know, what do I really read? So there's a large portion of it which is spirituality, religion, philosophy, which is the most from my entire collection.
Interesting. And do you also have a list of books that you would want to read every year? Like, you know, I'm going to read 12 books a year, or like something like what people do. Like, do you also follow that pattern?
Yes. So I wish to read at least 100 books per year. So that's like the bare minimum that I would want to touch. So there are some years wherein I can do that. There's some which does not happen.
But so 100 books a year.
Minimum.
Minimum. That's very interesting. And any book that you're really looking forward to read in this year? Any title that may come to your mind?
No, as I said, it just happens. So, like even if there's a wish list, it just it comes at the right time.
Okay.
But something that I'm reading is Srimad Bhagavatams. So
Okay.
that is something that I'm very excited to keep learning and reading from every day.
Going back to that book again and again. That's all.
So Bhagavatam has more than 10 cantos.
Okay.
And it is like a large volume. It has, like I'm still on the first canto.
Okay.
So which is by itself more than 1,000-page book. So it is like huge. So it'll take me a while to get through it.
So I think that your Valentine's Day is sorted.
Yes,
with your
absolutely.
first love. We wish you more books, more reading and more joy. Thank you so much for your time, Priyanshi.
Thank you for this.
For more such interviews, keep watching Vibes of India. Thank you.